On tonight's episode of the DFS Deli, we are covering all your contrarian plays, the final look of the slate, and all your betting needs as Chill and I sit down and discuss the slate from a betting perspective and a DFS perspective. So sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and welcome on into the shop. It's the DFS Deli, Week 10. And welcome in to the DFS Deli. I'm the proprietor of this delicatessen, Sully Ali Shaheed, and joined by my cohort, my partner in crime, my main man, Chill, on the other side of the ones and twos. Apparently, like I said, Baker's still fighting through his technical difficulties out at his new job, and Dale is, well,
Dale.
It's Dale. Yeah, it's Dale. It's Dale. So we are entering the final look for the Week 10 main slate, a big old 10-gamer. There's a game in Germany tomorrow morning that I'm not going to cover. The Monday Nighter, don't care. Sunday night, don't care. It is all about what we're talking about, these 10 games for the Week 10 main slate. So as always, Chill, happy Saturday. How's everything going?
Saturday's going pretty good. I can't really complain. I didn't do much today and just looking to cover, some information here on the slate and ready to dive on in.
Yes. And as my boys on No Broken Legs does, they cover the betting market, and I wanted to dabble in a little bit because I had a conversation with my barber, actually. If you can't tell, I paid him a little visit. Chill, you were the first person who saw me out of the chair. But they wanted to get my insight about some betting lines. I'm not going to cover props because props is like an endless cornucopia of information. But I'm just going to go across the spreads and the money lines on everything. And I think you and I could persuade some of the listeners to place a couple parlays tomorrow when it comes to breaking down this slate. So we're going to go game by game, pick our favorite contrarian plays out of those said games, and to see if the chalk in that game is something that you want to insert into your DFS lineups for this week. So we're going to start on the home turf with the Browns taking on the Ravens. I think it is still at 6.5 right now. So, let me just confirm that real quick.
I got
to make sure.
I got 6.5 per Fantasy Labs.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at all the sportsbook, Caesars, FanDuel, and DraftKings seems to be the main ones. So, yep, 6.5, and then I think the over/under is sitting at 38. So, low total game within this divisional matchup between the Browns and the Ravens. Number 1 and number 2 DVOA defenses going at one another. Chill, I think that because of the tackle situation, so the injuries at tackle that the Browns are going to be facing, I think this is a place to kind of load up the Ravens side on defense because I think the 6.5 for them, they boat raced Cleveland the time before, but that was the DTR game. So I don't know if Deshaun Watson is going to make any type of difference in this game. That guy stinks. So is it like an appropriate time to think that he might step up in this atmosphere, or is it going to be just a run-of-the-mill Ravens game? Because we saw the Ravens destroy the Lions. We saw the Ravens destroy the Seahawks, and they already destroyed the Browns before. So is this 6.5 enough, or is it kind of right where it's supposed to be?
Taking a look here, earlier in the week, this opened up at 3. It's currently up to 6.5. It opened for a 44 point, over under. It's down to 38. But again, those games for Lamar against the 2 NFC teams, I kind of take those and I toss those out the window. Because again, this is a familiar opponent they're playing the second time. This to me just screams typical AFC North game, like 20-17, like 21-14. Like, if it were me, I would be probably going the unders and taking the points here, for the Browns, because that's just what this game screams to me. This screams knock 'em out, drag out AFC North game.
I gotta see that, especially when teams normally face each other for the second time in the season. It tends to be a little tighter, a little lower scoring. Um, I think that again, because of this exploitable offensive line situation, I think that Baltimore is going to be on offense more often than they probably should. Just kind of like what we saw in the first matchup, where they were given a lot of short fields, and Baltimore was able to capitalize on that to get in the red zone. Like Lamar had a great game. Not great, but like a very, very good game because he was literally starting at the 30-yard line, of the opponent.
Literally.
So it's one of those things from a betting standpoint. I'm willing to take the 6.5. I think they're going to cover that. And I'm going to agree with you and take the under only because, like you said, divisional matchup. I don't know how Cleveland's going to move the ball. That's my real issue here. And from a DFS standpoint, it doesn't make for a lot of stackable options. Like I said on the Wednesday show, I wanted to play some low-owned Lamar because no one's playing Lamar. I think Mark Andrews in this matchup, he's always automatic against Cleveland. But if I feel like the game environment is not going to produce a tournament-winning score, I'm going to go ahead and change my thought process from what I said on Wednesday because, like you said, this total dropped. It didn't go up. And I don't think Cleveland's going to be able to match the back and forth and produce that same game environment that we want. Yes, low-owned Lamar looks sexy on paper, but now that I'm kind of digging in, I think there's other spots on this slate we can go ahead and exploit. So from DFS standpoint, I think it's a total stay away. And from a betting standpoint, I think you and I are both on the same page. Am I wrong?
No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I'm not going to be the only piece from this game I would probably consider at all playing would be either one of the defenses or Mark Andrews.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. I wanted to harp on the defense as well because if everybody's going to pay for the Cowboys, you can pay a little cheaper and get the Ravens defense. Because, like I said, they're going to create a lot of pressure and a lot of sacks. And this is a team that doesn't blitz all that often. But because of this exploitable offensive line situation, I think it's going to be an environment that can produce a lot of sacks. Because, yes, I like the Cowboys defense. Yes, I think they're going to be able to create pressure and get a few turnovers on Tommy DeVito. But at the same time, do the Giants play so conservative to the point where they know they're going to get boat raced? And kind of just, hey man, just go ahead, Saquon. We're gonna put it in your belly about 50 times and it not produce the environment that we want for turnovers. But with the Ravens, we know that Deshaun Watson and Stefanski is gonna have him drop back more often than not. And I don't think that balls that bounces off people's helmets is gonna fall into the arms of Amari Cooper tomorrow. So I think the Ravens defense from DFS is kind of sexy, kind of spicy.
I agree.
Okay. Anything else of note on this game before we move on?
Not really. Again, I just expect this to just be just a slugfest. Again, 21-17, 20-17, 17-14. It's kind of what I'm thinking for this game.
I respect that. I respect that. All right. Well, let's move over to something more fun. Texans Bengals, 47.5 over under. And the Bengals are 6.5, 6-point favorites. 6.5 in some sports books. So between 6 and 6.5. Injury concerns, big time when it comes to this game. So we already have no Nico Collins, no T. Higgins, no Damian Pierce. And that's going to open up, obviously, some of the Houston receivers to elevate them. And we are still 50-50 on Jamar Chase. So we kind of harped on it before we jumped on air. If Jamar Chase plays, do you play him from a DFS standpoint? And is he affecting that line movement at all for you?
I mean, from a DFS standpoint, I'll definitely consider him if he's ruled active because T. Higgins is out. We've seen in the games where Higgins is out, this dude just gets peppered with targets constantly. Through the miracles of medical and science, like they'll get that back injury calmed down once the game starts. Like, I assume he'll be feeling it. The only alternative to that is if the Bengals get a lead, like, do you think they just, because they play the Ravens next Thursday, I do believe. So, like, they may just get a lead and want to sit on the ball. So that way they can get out of there injury free and get ready for the big game with the Ravens. Because that Thursday game, like, if they don't beat the Ravens, they don't win the division. Like, there's no chance of that. Like, pending a Baltimore collapse. Like, so in terms of them getting any type of home field in the playoffs, it comes down to next Thursday. I mean, taking a look here at the line here, I actually like the Texans and the points. This just screams a backdoor cover to me. Like,
Okay. Okay.
Cincinnati's up by a couple touchdowns, and CJ Stroud just leads them down the field late. Like, this just screams like a backdoor type of cover to me.
Okay.
So I actually like the Texans and the points here.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I kind of like the Texans to the points as well, and I kind of like the under. With when you're missing skill position players, this isn't just the next man up type of deal. Like no one's gonna put up numbers like when the whole crew is fully healthy. Like we got what Trenton Irwin that opened up on DraftKings for 3,000. Moving into a more prominent role. We saw what he did last time against. I can't remember who they went against, but he had 14 DraftKings points that day. So we've seen him open up. He's got again that 3K crapper price tag that people are going to be looking to flock to. Noah Brown's cheap on the other side. Tank Dell is still cheap on the other side, and we got the chalk in Joe Mixon. So I think that I'm going to agree with you to the point where if they want to get healthy and Jamar Chase is active, will he be active or will he be active? So I don't know if he's going to be out in decoy mode. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's a game they're going to lean on Joe Mixon. I rarely say this because I think this guy stinks too. Mixon is good chalk this week. I mean, he's appropriately priced. He's only 6'2" on DraftKings. So, 7'2" or 7'4" on FanDuel. So it's like, yeah, I think he's good chalk too. And I think if I'm going to go with your logic, they get a lead, they kind of sit on it and worry about that game on Thursday. So I'm going to go under and I'm going to take the points with the Texans. I think they go ahead and cover that 6.5.
Do you find it weird that since the beginning of the week, the total's gone up?
I do find it weird. I mean, they're missing more and more pieces. Like how is this total moving up?
It's gone up 2.5 points.
I don't understand that. I think that just makes the under even easier.
I think
for me at least.
I mean, I think I'm kind of with you here on the under. I mean, you'll know early if the under is gonna if CJ Stroud is able to pass the ball on this defense, like that under ain't gonna stick. But like the thing is too is like the Bengals defensive coordinator, and I forgot what his name was, but like he's very good at coming up with game plans to slow down like these, elite or really good quarterbacks. Like he constantly does it to Josh Allen. He's been able to slow down Mahomes. So like he may be able to go on ahead and slow down CJ Stroud here. And again, like I'll bring it up, like we don't know what CJ Stroud you're getting. Am I getting the one that played the Panthers? Or am I getting the one from last week?
Yeah,
Like he's still a rookie.
I think a lot of people want to chase that. There's a lot of point chasing going on. I think Stroud still makes for a decent play, and he's like $500 cheaper than Burrow on FanDuel, and I think he's just $100 cheaper than Burrow this day. But Burrow's the chalk, and I think it's going to get worse only because his stacking options, if Jamar Chase doesn't play, are just that much cheaper. So it's like you can still play Burrow with Trenton Irwin and Tyler Boyd and then load up everywhere else. But if Chase plays, again, I don't know if he's going to be active or active, and I don't know if I want to touch that. I think there's safer spots at the top of the price, spectrum that I can get to other than Jamar Chase. But again, like you said, we've seen it without T. Higgins. We've seen 151-3 from Jamar Chase sans T. Higgins. So there's a chance. There's definitely a chance.
I mean, Jamar Chase doesn't strike me as somebody that's going to play decoy. That
I get it.
I just don't think that's the Bengals' MO.
All right, I respect that. We safe to move on?
Yeah, I think so.
Another fun one, and one I'm definitely going to have to get your opinion on because right now, I've tossed out this game completely, but there's obviously good plays in this game. 49ers Jaguars sits at 45 for the over-under. 49ers 3-point favorites on the road against the Jags, both fresh off their buys. and relatively clean bill of health. We got Debo back on the 49ers side. And, well, I would say relatively, but, no Zay Jones for the Jaguars. So, there's key plays, obviously, in this game on both sides. Travis Etienne, the touchdown monster. Christian Kirk, who a lot of people seem to be gravitating to. And then on the other side, CMC, expensive. You got to pay. Brandon Ayuk, expensive. You got to pay. Debo Samuel, first game back. No one's playing him. So, I mean, from DFS standpoint, I'm staying away because I like other game environments better, but I want to get your feel on the game.
It's the scariest game on the slate.
Yes. Agreed.
Again, scariest game on the slate. Like, this game could be 17-14. This game could be 35-30. Yep. In terms of a betting perspective, if you're going to give me the better quarterback at home with points, I'm taking it.
Okay.
I don't even think so. I'm not even questioning that one. Give me Jacksonville in 3. Like, that one's pretty easy for me. Like, again, if you're going to give me the better quarterback at home with points, I'll take it. I don't even think that's debatable. Both their teams are coming off of buys. I did see somebody kind of report on this. Like, this is the biggest game in Jacksonville's, the biggest home game for Jacksonville in how many years?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep. Like, I think that crowd is going to be ready to go.
Okay.
So I like Jacksonville here. In terms of a DFS standpoint, like, nobody's playing Trevor Lawrence tomorrow, and he's pretty affordable. San Francisco is god awful against the pass. His wide receivers are cheap. His stacking options are cheap. Debo is cheap. Debo is my favorite option on the 49ers side. If you're going to give me low-owned Debo, I'm in. So, again, those guys, nobody's playing those guys. No, and again, the way to beat the 49ers is through the air.
So does that kind of take Travis Etienne off the board for you?
I wouldn't play Lawrence with Etienne. I'm probably good with fading Etienne.
Okay.
Because I think I'm just higher on the passing game side of things.
Okay.
And I think I can comfortably fade McCaffrey. Because, again, if he gets like 20 to 25 points, that doesn't bury you. Jacksonville has a good run defense. But, like, if Debo gets 25 to 30 points and you have him, you're just climbing up the leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good contrarian spot. I agree with you. But like I said, from a DFS and betting standpoint, I'm staying away. Like, I would not put this game in any of my parlays. I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. If I had to choose, gun to my head, I would agree with you because that home field kind of swings it one way or another. I don't know if we get the San Francisco that goes back to averaging 30-plus points a game. No, they had the bye week to prepare, but at the same time, is Brock Purdy still turning back into a pumpkin? Or I don't know, but he's got all his weapons back. And that's when he was his best. So now that he has Debo back, now that he has, CMC healthy, I mean, it could be. That's why I don't want to touch this game. It could be under, and it could blow every other game out the water from a total. So I'm scared. I'm scared.
So believe it or not, I would take the over, but from a DFS perspective, this could be like CMC gets a touchdown. Christian Kirk has a touchdown. Like, the touchdowns are spread out.
So you like minis in this game, not total game stacks.
I would not totally stack this game. There's too many good options. There's too many options in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, the 49ers side alone, you got Ayuk, you got Debo, you got CMC, you got Kittle. Jacksonville, you got Christian Kirk. Evan Ingram can get 3 touchdowns at any given time. Calvin Ridley, ETN. Like, right there is already 10 options.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
I'm with you. That's exactly why I crossed it off.
like I said, I wouldn't full on game stack it. But if I am going to take pieces from this game, it's the passing game. I'll fade both running backs, um, but I'll take the pass catchers in this game.
All right. I respect that. Speaking of games that I'm staying away from, let's hit you with another one. Saints Vikings over under sits at 41. Saints are 3-point road favorites going into the now Josh Dobbs led Minnesota Vikings. Uh, I think you mentioned it on Wednesday, Chill, that you were kind of interested in playing some Josh Dobbs in this spot. Are you still about that life, or did you change your tune?
Um, so I do like Dobbs. I think I will have a Dobbs lineup tomorrow. I do like Dobbs because um, New Orleans doesn't pressure the quarterback all that well, so he's gonna have time to throw. He'll have time to move. Um, for his price tag and what he offers you from a rushing perspective, um, I like it, and I do figure that Minnesota will put them in more passing situations because New Orleans doesn't do a good job of stopping the run. So I do like the Minnesota pieces. I think the only Saints player I'm probably willing to play tomorrow. Well, I mean, I'd have to consider it on draft. Like, I'd have to consider Taysom Hill on DraftKings. So
Yeah, you're
maybe
damn right.
Olave and Hill on DraftKings. But I
Uh huh.
like Olave. Um, and then the Minnesota options are easy. It's Addison, it's Hawkinson if he plays, and it's Dobbs.
So you don't like Saints receivers that allegedly throw bricks through people's windows?
Did so I saw a meme. It's it's Derek Carr's prison team. So it's Derek Carr, and then he's got Antonio Brown, Michael Thomas, and Henry Ruggs.
I saw that too. Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's Derek Carr.
I mean, Saints
I'm just
be
saying, you
lit.
got Henry Ruggs speeding, killing people. You got Olave speeding, killing people. You got freaking Michael Thomas throwing bricks through windows. Freaking Antonio Brown losing his fucking mind. I mean, like it's Derek Carr, dude. He's poison, bro. He's
Right,
poison.
and in terms of a betting perspective, I don't know if I would bet this one.
This is a scratch off for you.
I think this would be a scratch off. If gun to my head, uh, gun to my head, give me Minnesota in 3, and then give me the over. Give me the over.
You like over 41 this one?
I do. Give me the over. I like 21, like 24-21 is like that seems like a good score for this game.
I don't see it. I think both these offenses kind of like are hit and miss. I think Josh Dobbs did so well because obviously he had to, A, learn stuff on the fly, and B, they were playing from behind. I think in a controlled, neutral game script where they can get, that offense kind of cooking the way they want Josh Dobbs to cook it. Even though the Saints do lead the league in turnovers, tied with the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think that they won't give them the opportunity to turn over the ball. There's safer options. Obviously, 34% of Josh Dobbs' pass goes to the tight end position. TJ Hawkinson said he's probably going to play. So, he's got that loaded up for him. And I think this is one of those knocky, drag out type of games. I really don't see too many explosive plays coming from this game. Yeah, like you said, DraftKings only. Taysom Hill, FanDuel. What are y'all thinking? But whatever. He's definitely not in play on FanDuel. But DraftKings, sure. Um, I I just don't see it from the Minnesota perspective. I don't see the upside. I think there's safe floors, but I just don't see the upside. So I'm staying away from this game. I think if you gave me anything, I think Minnesota straight up the better team. I think them being 3-point dogs is a joke. I think this should be a pick 'em at worst. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take Minnesota to cover that and have them win outright. And I'm taking the under because I just don't see this game environment going the way that people want to. But another interesting play probably is Alexander Madison. I think that's probably everyone's pay down option at running back because there's no Cam Akers in the backfield anymore. He's getting all the work. I mean, that guy sucks. He sucks too. But opportunity over everything. He's gonna get the opportunity. And I think 15 to 22 carries or touches in this game is not out of the realm of possibilities. So maybe he's cheap enough.
I can't. I mean, I get the logic. I'd rather just take Dobbs.
I'm with it. I can't debate. Like I said, it's probably a stay away for me, but I'm just I don't know. Like we said with the last game with the 49ers game, we can see a world where both teams ends up in the 30s. I can't see a world where this Minnesota Saints game goes into the 30s. I can't see a world where that happens.
Like I said, I agree with you. Like, if this game were to be like 35-30, I'd be very surprised. But like I said, I could see this game being 21-24, 28-21. Like, I could see it. Because like
Will
I'm
you?
not gonna sit here and say like Minnesota's defense is still not all that good.
But they're improved.
They're
This used to be the
improved.
punching bag.
They are improved, but like the Saints' offense too is clicking. Like
Yeah,
I
because
just
they're getting because Taysom Hill's package is getting bigger.
that is
Okay,
true.
his package. All right. So
I like how you say package and then just
it was
so he's a grower.
yeah,
He's not
he's
a
a
shower.
grower. He's
He's not a
definitely a
shower.
grower.
He's not a shower.
Definitely a grower. Not a shower. All right. Well, let's get gross again. Packers at Steelers. 39.5 over under in this one. Steelers getting 3 at home, probably because, that whole home 3 points automatically built in. If it was in Green Bay, they would be the 3-point favorite, whatever. So basically, this is a darn pick 'em. I hate this game. I hate everything about it. And people are going to play people from this game. I don't know why, but no, hard pass. I'm good. This game sucks. This game is going under 39. The Steelers are going to win because for some reason they keep freaking winning, and I can't stop them. But under, Steelers cover that 3. No DFS plays to be spoken of. I'm good. Hard pass. Chill. Your thoughts.
Yeah, this is a really ugly game. I would take the Steelers in 3 and take the under. I don't see a route where the only way this would go over is if like the Steelers offense went off the sheet, right?
Yeah, but like we said on Wednesday, Kenny Pickett plays for 1 quarter.
That's it. It's right here.
That's it, man. He's definitely when
That's
this
it.
goes up, Kenny Pickett just turns it on. I don't know what it is.
I I think the only pieces I may like from this game would be Aaron Jones and just the narrative with George Pickens just complaining.
I think he just complained his way out of targets, to be honest. But I don't know. Like if I'm not playing Aaron Jones by himself, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to play a Steeler if I play Aaron Jones. And I can't do it. The Steelers are trash against the run. I get that. If this game was in Green Bay, I think I'd be about that life. But it's they got to go to Pittsburgh to do this, and a hard pass, bro. Hard pass. I would bet. I'm not betting this with confidence, but I would bet the Steelers cover that 3, and I would bet this is the under that. You don't want any part of this game. There's nothing cute about this game. Nothing. Nothing.
I
Else.
mean, one more guy. I maybe more than Aaron Jones, but like Pittsburgh is not very good against number 1 wide receivers either. Christian Watson is really cheap. On FanDuel, he's damn near free at 5,700.
But the dude sucks.
Jordan Love sucks.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, all right.
I don't
Fair,
think
fair,
like
fair.
um again, Pittsburgh does struggle against they do struggle against, number 1 wide receivers, quote unquote. Huge games to Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Adams, Puka Nakua. So I guess maybe price be damned. Like, right, I gotta fill in a slot and it says Watson, Jones, or George Pickens. Like, price be damned. In terms of a betting standpoint, the under and give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, like you said, they're 32nd in the league with pass yards allowed, but they're 7th DVOAs. So I mean, they don't let teams score through the air on them. So
They're
it's a
they're the
bunch of yards, but
they are the bend but don't break.
exactly, and they've always been like that, like always. So, it is what it is. It's cool. Um, excuse me, Titans, Bucks, 39, over under. The Bucks favorites in this one. 2.5, pretty close to it.
2.5. I got 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
They they opened up at 1. Now it's 2.5.
Okay, okay. This is probably the most fun game for me. One of the most fun games on the slate from a DFS and betting standpoint. I think 39 is too low. I think this game could go over.
I
Actually,
think
I'm confidently betting this game is going over.
I think this game's going over as well, and I would take the Titans. I think the Titans are. I would bet the money line here that the Titans are winning this game.
Ooh, man. We already know the Bucks can't run the ball worth a damn, and the Titans still, one of the better run defenses in the league, 8th in DVOA, so they don't allow you to get in the box. So it's like I think Will Levis can be. I don't know about this week's CJ Stroud, but he could be like CJ Stroud light, right? I don't think you're getting
Like
5 touchdowns out of him.
303 is well on the table, and
Absolutely.
that's all you need.
Absolutely. I think he can fling it. And I think that because the Titans defense is so porous against the pass themselves, I think Baker Mayfield can get some pushback in this game. The thing is that from what I've seen from an ownership standpoint from DFS, people are playing Baker Mayfield tomorrow. But no one's playing Will Levis tomorrow.
I mean,
I think it's time.
it's a rookie. It's the rookie narrative. Like
I think
it's
we
the
need to.
same thing. It's the same reason why people didn't play Stroud last week.
It's the exact same thing. We've seen his ceiling, we've seen Will Levis's ceiling, and then we've also seen his floor last week. So
Well, and the
we
thing
get
is
somewhere
like
in between that.
I
I think he lays somewhere in between that.
I watched that entire Tennessee Pittsburgh game. He played fine.
I agree.
Like I kind of looked at it. I'm like, they might have a quarterback here.
I think they have a quarterback. Yo, Will Levis could fling it, man. He's got one of the best flick of the wrist in the league.
I
Like
mean, the only issue with Will Levis is the it's the head, right? Like he can give off Baker Mayfield vibes where like everything's a chip on his shoulder. It's like, bro, just shut the fuck up. Like, just go out there and play quarterback. Like, not every little thing is like, oh, we got to get him. Oh, I got to prove my point. Oh, I got to prove my point. Just
Mm-hmm.
go play
Mm-hmm.
football, bro.
Right, I agree. A couple of injury concerns. Obviously, Treylon Burks is probably not going to play in this one because of this concussion, so that elevates a couple guys, Nick Westbrook-Keeney, and another 3K crapper in Kyle Phillips, who I spoke about on Wednesday. If you're trying to get someone cheap or cheap exposure to this game, Chig is also on the table. I mean, we saw Dr. Schultz tear him up last week, so Chig's a couple big plays away from actually being a decent play at tight end. Price is nice. So if you're trying to run the contrarian side of that, which is going to be the Tennessee, passing game with Will Levis as opposed to the Bucks passing game with Baker Mayfield, I think that I am putting out a full game stack of this game. It's double and run back for me. I think I'm not scared of two of Will Levis's targets and probably Mike Evans. If I have the salary to get to Mike Evans, I'll do it because we know his ceiling is higher than that of Chris Godwin's because Mike Evans gets in the end zone more often. I mean, he was stopped at the 1 yard line last week, which led to the second of Rashad White's touchdown. So, I mean, we know he can get in the box. So, and he's relatively low owned. Not low owned to the point where no one's playing it, but low owned to the point where he's probably the run back piece that I would prefer and kind of go from there. So I'm on this Will Levis thing, man. I think we were on it on Monday.
Yeah, I like Will Levis as well. If I'm playing FanDuel, I think Mike Evans is my only bring back option. DraftKings, I can consider Godwin.
I mean, they're both cheap enough. I mean, like that I could see why people are playing Baker because of the stacking options are affordable. Like you can run that double stack. You can run both. You can run Godwin and Evans and not like be price prohibitive when it comes to the rest of your lineup. Like there's another stack we'll get to that's really expensive and good luck bringing that double stack bring back. But this one not so much because all of Tennessee's options with the exception of like Nook are pretty inexpensive. So you can get a cheap game stack and get in other pieces of other games. So I mean, I
You
definitely
interest?
like the over, and I like the Bucks to win. Chill. Screw your Titans.
That's fair. You like Rashad White?
Absolutely not. That's one of the
Okay.
easiest fades on the board for me.
All right. Same here. I ain't playing chalky Rashad White.
Exactly. I mean, unless Mike Evans continues to get stopped on the 1 yard line to lead to easy conversions. I mean, Rashad White makes a better play on DraftKings, that's for sure, because his receiving chops have been pretty solid this year. FanDuel, scratch. I'm good. Hard pass.
Fair enough.
That's just me, though. Okay. Falcons cards. Over under sits at 43.5, a modest total. Falcons, looks like 2.5, 1.5 on a couple books. Going into Arizona. Like, we would never, not never, but we would rarely put the Cardinals team total anywhere in the 20s if Kyler Murray wasn't coming back, right?
I mean, Dobbs was probably close to having him in the 20s. It's not like early on.
It's not like last week against the Browns.
No, no.
Oh, Clayton Tune. Oh, Looney Tunes.
No, I agree here. Just because I want Arthur Smith fired so bad, I would take the Cardinals.
We
Give me,
all want Arthur Smith fired, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not going to happen, Chill. It's
Give me,
not going to happen.
give me Arthur Smith. I mean, like Hollywood Brown figures to be the chalkiest wide receiver on the slate. I don't know how you feel about that.
I don't know about on the slate, but definitely in this game. I mean, he's going to be up there with like, the Sun God and probably some of the cheaper pieces like Trenton Irwin. A lot of people are going to get to him because he's 3K. But yes, I 100% agree with you, but I think it's warranted.
I got Marquise Brown and Trey McBride as the two chalkiest people at their positions.
Well, screw it. Throw in Kyler. Let's ride.
and the thing is, and like I have Kyler at 5%, so like I don't get what the field's doing.
It's so, and we're about to get to this game, but it's bizarro. Geno Smith, high owned. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, low owned. Trey McBride, Marquise Brown, high owned. Kyler Murray, no one's owning him. So it's like, if y'all think these dudes are about to do something, why not just play Kyler? If you think Geno Smith is going to do something, why not just play DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett? I don't understand where these numbers are coming from. I'm not getting it. But if I'm going to play two chalky pieces, I'm just bringing Kyler with me. So I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and bring Kyler. And as much as I want Arthur Smith fired, Chill, I'm sorry. The Falcons are going to win this game. They're going to cover. This game is going over. This game is going over.
Call of Duty came out Friday, so...
Oh, stop with the Call of Duty shit. We get it. Kyler Murray likes Call of Duty. It's the same week. Blah, 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 blah. If I got to hear that one more motherfucking time, I'm going to lose my shit, man. Okay,
maybe it got him motivated. Maybe it got him motivated. I don't know.
Maybe it got him motivated. I wonder what his gamer tag is, and just to see his online hours. I just want to know.
I want to know what his KD is.
Hey, listen, man. I would say whatever his KD is, I'm gonna bet the over under on his touchdown prop too. So if he's got a 1.5 KD, I'm taking the over and doing the 2 touchdowns. If it's a 2.5 KD, like he's a real killer out here, he's going off. He's going off on Sunday.
If he has a 2.5 KD, that dude doesn't watch film.
He is a slayer. A slayer at 2.5. Like you're like optic level. The 2.5.
He's the guy that just uses iron sights.
Facts.
To get the extra attachment on the gun.
I don't need no scope. Noob. I look like. No, but I'm in. I don't think there's any bad chalk in this game. I mean, one, I would probably be more willing to fade Trey McBride in this scenario because Kyler, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to support him, but at the same time, like I don't really have any logic that says otherwise. So I don't know if I like the feel of chalky tight ends. But last time Trey McBride was chalk, kind of blew up the slate. So I mean, I guess the writing is on the wall. Let's look at the Falcons side of it, where Bijan looks to be one of the highest owned running backs. As much as we bitch and complain about Arthur Smith, this and this, people still want to play him. I'm one of them. I'm playing him.
I mean, I will play him as well, but boy,
it's gonna hurt.
If you've never played him before, you're just in for a world of hurt.
Absolutely. I played him one time this year. One time, and it hurt. It hurt. But that's okay, man. You know, I think a low owned piece of this game that probably people aren't looking enough to is Drake London. He makes his return this week, injury free, no designation. So I mean, the Cardinals can get tore up, you know, at this wide receiver position. So I mean, we're talking about a number one receiver going against the Cardinals. We saw what Amari Cooper did last week, minus the, you know, catching a touchdown off some dude's helmet. But if everyone's gonna play Bijan, why not we just pivot? Let's pivot a little to a little Drake London. Little Drake London.
Would you
Thoughts?
Would you be willing to play Michael Wilson?
No.
The other Cardinals wide receiver? No. Nope.
Absolutely not.
All right. I just toss it out there.
You know, Kyler don't support two receivers. Come on, man.
That's true.
When he breaks slates, he does it with one dude and his legs. That's it.
That's true. If you wanna make an argument for London, that I can get behind that.
Like I said, I think it, and I think if it's a situation where you have Bijan like in your flex or something like that going into 4:00 and your 1:00 guys don't hit, I think he makes for an interesting pivot because you got to get off that chalk somehow. And I think if you want to stay in that same game environment, just go to Drake London and, you know, be happy with yourself. Again, if you're not late swapping, you're not doing it right. So just make sure you got those if-then statements kind of set up. And I think Drake London is probably going to be one of the main if-then statements I have on the slate. You know, and there's a lot of guys if-then at 4:00, right? So, you know, we're going to get to that game here in a second, but Tony Pollard, if-then. What's his name? Our running back for Ken Walker, if-then. Yeah. There's a few Sun God, if then. I mean, there's a lot of chalky guys that like this is a hammer slate, chill. This is a hammer slate. So I'm excited for Sunday. I'm excited. But there's a lot of different ways you can go though, which makes the slate more wide open than I think people are giving it credit for. So
I agree.
Any other notes, thoughts about this game?
No, again, you know, the two Arizona receivers or Marquise Brown and McBride are just going to be the chalkiest guys on the slate or close to it. So just keep that in perspective.
Excellent. Let's get to it. Lions at Chargers. 3-point favorites for the visiting Lions. 48.5-point total. This game has some interesting pieces. I think this total is kind of high. I don't know if I trust this total, but at the same time, like the Chargers defense is ass. So I mean, I don't know. They need this game more than the Lions do, of course. But like the Lions just want to keep on winning. Obviously, they still have to stave off the charging Vikings. Charging because they're facing the Chargers. And I think this line may or may not be high enough because I think the Chargers suck. And I think the Lions are just a flat out better team on the road or not. We want to talk about this home, road, golf, crap, indoor, out, or they're inside. So, I mean, this is fine. This is fine to load up Jared Goff and no one's going to play him. Everyone is going to play the Sun God. No one wants to play Jared Goff. I don't understand this. Again, it's a bizarre world with these ownership things. Does nobody stack anymore? Chill. Is that what it is? Like they're
I
just
just
taking the Sun God as a one-off play and kind of
I
going
mean
from there.
with Burrow being the chalk, they're just gonna take Burrow with insert cheap pass catcher here maybe.
Yeah, I think Quentin Johnson on the other side for the Chargers is probably going to be where at least I'm gravitating to because Goff, Laporta, Sun God, Keenan Allen, you have nothing remaining in your lineup. That stack is damn near impossible. You're going to have scraps for the rest of your lineup, and I am not going there. So if I'm running it back, it's probably going to be with Quentin Johnson, but like, good luck with that premium shit, especially because like no one's playing Herbert. You know why? Because he's too damn expensive. Like, you
Yeah,
can't if you're gonna play Herbert, you have to play Keenan Allen. So you
yeah. I
have to
mean,
run it back with the Sun God. Like,
so this is a game where if you wanted to play Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler without Herbert, that's fine. Because like Herbert's too expensive. So I
oh,
could
so
get
that's where the Geno Smith ownership is coming from.
it could. I
They're
mean,
just
like
playing Geno and then the two Chargers.
it could like even when you like look at the Dallas perspective of it, you could play CD Lamb and Pollard without Dak.
Yeah, but normally when
Like
CD Lamb goes off, Dak probably goes off.
true, but like it's kind of interesting. But I mean, we'll get to that game. But so we'll stay focused here on this one. But I mean, I do like the Detroit side of it. The only thing that's kind of a little bit weird is like the Chargers haven't really been able to keep up or been in shootouts this year.
Mhm.
Don't know if that's an offensive thing or if like something's not right with them, but like they're not in as many shootouts anymore, or they can't keep up.
I mean,
Like
their
I don't.
offense has been butt since freaking Mike Williams got hurt. Like, they can't do anything else if they're not being supported by Keenan Allen and freaking Austin Eckler. So it's like they need Mike Williams in this offense. They need somebody else to be Mike Williams, and I don't think Quentin Johnson is that dude.
No,
So
he's not looking very good. Let's
not
just
yet, not yet. At least he's a rookie. I get it, but I mean, come on.
yeah, but like no offense, like rookie wide receivers, like bro, you just transition over to the NFL and you go. Like you either get it or you don't.
Or you don't, right? Well, I mean, remember Justin Jefferson's rookie year? It took him a few games to get going and turn into
A few
Justin Jefferson.
yeah, a few games, bro. It's week 10,
I
and
know,
he's had
but
starters,
he hasn't.
and he's had
Oh, all year
starters. But he's had starters, time now with Palmer out, Williams out. Like you have a chance here to perform and show out, and like you can't get it done. Like
I get it.
maybe if you want to tell me that it was the Jets' fault, like okay, I get it, right? The Jets shut down everybody,
They do. They do.
so I can get behind that at least. But um, I hate playing Johnson, but I guess that's the piece that I have to bring back.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way because I want to play golf. And if I'm playing golf, I'm playing Laporta. If I'm playing Laporta, I'm playing the Sun God. And if I need to run it back, I can't afford Austin Eckler or Keenan Allen. So guess what? Quentin Johnson, you're up. Another late swap option in this game is the Detroit running game. No one's playing Gibbs and no one's playing Montgomery.
No,
So if you're in a situation where, again, your 1 o'clock guys fail and you're sitting waiting with Tony Pollard or something like that, you should go to the Detroit backfield.
or if you're sitting on the Sun God,
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, go to the running game. Absolutely, because ain't nobody playing either of those guys. I like Gibbs better.
that's a coin flip to me.
Yeah, I think that's a big old coin flip. If you're sitting there at 345, like, God, I got to get off Tony Pollard now just to stand a chance in this tournament, just go ahead and flip it and see
Yeah,
what happens. Let fate decide because
yeah,
I don't have a beat either way.
yeah, yeah. That to me that's a literal coin flip.
Agreed. Agreed. For the total, I want to take the under. And I think the Lions cover that 3. I think they beat them by a touchdown.
I like the Lions to cover. Um, man, this is a tough total.
I know. I know. It's a tough one. I think I would feel safer with them covering the 3 and not touching the over under.
Same.
Yeah, I think that line is just too wishy
Like,
washy for
if
me.
you tell me the Lions win by 10, that's I could totally see it.
Right, right. Let's blaze through this one because this is a joke of a game. Giants Cowboys 39 over under. Cowboys 28 implied team total here. Favorite by 1,000,000. Um ah, do they cover this? I mean, that's a big old spread, man. Normally, those are the easier ones to bet and say, ain't no way you're getting to this mark. But the Giants might not cross the 50-yard line. So I get it, from a DFS standpoint, everybody wants to play the Cowboys defense. I respect that. I'm playing the Cowboys defense as well. But, is this defense going to be keeping the Giants off the field to allow Tony Pollard to get 20 touches, 25 touches in this game? Or is it going to be what we saw against, gosh, I can't remember who they went against, that had 2 defensive touchdowns and no one got there because it was just their defense getting there?
Yeah, I mean, taking a look here, the only pieces I'm playing from this game are Dak, CD, Pollard, and the defense from the Cowboys. That's the only thing I would consider. If maybe Jake the Snake at that point, but um, Pollard's last good game was Week 1 against this sorry Giants team, and that's like when they were healthy.
Right. That's when they were
But
expected to compete.
you know, again, this is a high total, and the Cowboys are one of the hardest teams for me to kind of bet because you don't know what version of the Cowboys you're getting. Are you getting the Cowboys team that wins by 28? You getting the Cowboys team that loses by 28? No, I
Right.
don't
Well,
think the
they're
Giants.
definitely losing this game.
No,
Period. So stop. I think that from logically how I'm looking at it is that if you play the Cowboys defense, you want them to go off. So that means in order for them to go off, they got to get in the end zone. That goes exactly against what Tony Pollard needs to do is get the ball to get in the end zone. So in all my lineups, it's literally I'm playing the Cowboys defense without Tony Pollard, or I'm playing Tony Pollard without the Cowboys defense. So my Tony Pollard lineups have Ravens defense in it. My Cowboys defense lineups has um, Ken Walker in it or somebody along those lines. So I don't think those two can coalesce. Because again, if you expect the defense to go off, especially at this exorbitant price, they have to get in the end zone probably more than once. So is this game environment going to be indicative of them giving them the opportunity for strip sacks, fumbles, interceptions? You think Tommy DeVito is dropping back 40 times?
no,
No. So I think that, again, I'm more likely to be overweight on the Ravens defense than I am on the Cowboys defense. I get the logic, I get both sides. But again, if you're sitting at 4 o'clock and you're going to have to find another defense, I think Seattle is another late swaption because we already know how Sam Howell takes sacks. But you can't think that your 1 o'clock guys miss and you're sitting there waiting with Tony Pollard and the Cowboys defense thinking you're the only person on it. You got to go. You got to switch. So, again, if you're not going to play the Ravens early, I kind of like the Seahawks late. But again, I don't think those two can coalesce with one another. I don't think Cowboys and Pollard go together very well, in my opinion, of course.
I mean that's fair. So are you taking the points or not the points?
Bro, listen, I think that because of they're at home, they just came off a devastating loss against the Eagles. I think they can impose their will on the Giants. And I think this is a game where they can cover the 17. I think they can cover it. So I'm going to take them to cover. I'm going to take the over. because I think the Cowboys can.
I
I
like
think
the
the Cowboys
over.
can cover that by themselves.
I like the over as well.
Yeah, I think they can cover it by themselves. I mean, just without the Giants, I think they can
And
cover it.
honestly, I would take the points here.
You think the Giants somehow cover this?
17 and a half.
I know it's a lot, Chill. I know it's a
Dude,
lot.
it is professional football, man. Like,
I know. I know.
you
I
remember,
agree.
you know what this screams to me? You remember, like, when Buffalo played Minnesota and Josh Allen and them flat out won that game?
Oh yeah, I was there.
I don't think the Giants are winning, but like 17 and a half?
That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Like, couldn't you just see a scenario where, like, it's the fourth quarter, Cowboys are up 24 to
3.
24 to 3, and like they just take everybody out, and the Giants just, like, Saquon just gets a rushing touchdown at the end of the game. Because, right, if the Cowboys are in the 20s, the Giants only need 10. It's now, listen, the Cowboys could be in the 40s by half.
I know. That's what I'm
But
saying.
like, again, like, Saquon is gonna like, I'm not touching Saquon Barkley tomorrow, but like,
Oh, there would be no Giants in any lineup. Believe that.
but like, Saquon Barkley is gonna get 30 rushing attempts tomorrow.
I mean, how could he get up to 30 rushing attempts when they're going to go 3 and out every possession?
They don't care.
You're right.
They don't care. They did it against the Jets.
You're right.
I mean, he's had a week to prepare, so I'm assuming they'll throw the ball a little bit further than 5 yards down the field, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, no low owned players in this game for me, with the exception of Dakota. So if you want to go anti Pollard, you can definitely go Dakota, CD, Jake the Snake, and ignore the running game. Call it a day. You can do that and be contrarian.
You could do that and be contrarian.
Yeah, absolutely. But no Giants, no run back.
No, you don't need a run back.
Don't do that. You don't need a run back. You do not need a run back. Well, last game on the slate is going to be the Washington Commanders versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks 6-point home favorites. 44.5 is that total. A lot of interesting plays in this game because, like we alluded to earlier, it is high owned Geno Smith, low owned pass catchers. I mean, explain.
I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised, but like, also it is that don't be surprised because it's that time of the night.
Oh no, it's in this game.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're looking at her from afar, and you know what? Like, you look at her and be like, wow, like, she kind of big, but like, she kind of fit too. Like, you're just like, damn. And you're looking at her, and like, she's a little bit taller than you. She got a little bit more muscle than you. And you go over there, and then you ask her, like, hey, what's your name? And she says, DK. You ask her, does that stand for Donkey Kong?
I was going to say, you got to ask what it stands for.
No, I mean, the fat chick at the bar this week is one DK Metcalf. I was preaching it on Wednesday. I didn't think he was going to come in with any ownership. That seems to still be the case. Lockett looks like he's going to be the highest owned of the three. Because I mean, even Jackson Smith and Jigba has higher ownership than DK Metcalf. Which is again, like, I think DK is going to outscore Jamar Chase tomorrow. Like,
I'm with that. Yeah, I'm with that. Absolutely.
So, for whatever reason, like, that people just don't want to play DK again. Hey, that's on y'all. I like the whole Seahawks offense as a whole. I like Geno. I like Ken Walker. I like the wide receivers. Again, the Commanders offense, if you want to go on ahead and run it back with Dotson, you want to McLaurin. I'm
not playing McLaurin. I'm not playing McLaurin, and here's why. Witherspoon. So he's taken out somebody. So let's call a spade here. He's one of the top corners in the damn NFL. So
Is
I don't know if he sticks to one side. I don't watch enough Seattle tape for that. But if McLaurin moves, maybe. But someone's getting erased. And wherever they line up, they ain't passing on him. So I don't know. I mean, both their cornerbacks are damn solid. So I think this is a Logan Thomas game.
It could be. I mean, I guess Eric Bieniemy be damned. Like, they're throwing 40 times.
Damn right they are.
So, like,
that's why I like the over, and that's why I like the Commanders to cover.
I'm on the other side. I think Seattle beats them comfortably. I think Seattle beats them by 14.
Listen, man, Pete Carroll is a chess player. Okay, he just want to get the dub. All right, ain't no way they're gonna come out and keep slinging and slinging and slinging to get up on these boys.
They got embarrassed.
Washington's gonna keep throwing and throwing and throwing.
I mean, they got embarrassed last week. They need to make a statement. They got embarrassed last week.
I agree. I agree. But like I said, for me personally, I think Pete Carroll does just enough to keep this game pushing, and I think Washington does enough to keep pushing Seattle. Because if Seattle, let's say, gets up 14-0 for some strange reason, they're gonna just sit on it. But if Washington can keep pushing them, like it goes back and forth, 14-7, 21-7, 21-14, et cetera, then I can see that total getting up where it needs to be. And I think this Washington Commanders offense can do that. So I'm there for the over, but I think that it might be another backdoor cover situation where, like, you have your 14 points, and then all of a sudden they drop 10 just to try to get it close and then miss the onside kick or something like that, then lose the game. I can see that happening. So I think there's a backdoor cover in order for me. That's what I would like.
I still like the Seattle side. I like the Seattle side and then the Washington side in garbage time.
You woke up on Monday morning talking about, like, I'm playing Seahawks.
I do like the Seahawks. I mean, I do any team that's playing the Commanders, I'm probably just in because that defense is. They got rid of the 2 pass rushers so you could run on them. That secondary is trash. And their offense is going to throw the whole time.
Right. How do you feel about, like, a Geno stack with Geno, Metcalf, and Walker?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just take all of it.
Yeah. And then just running back with Dotson.
Sure.
Running back with Logan Thomas. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm loading up a lot of Logan Thomas, man.
If you see that Curtis Samuel officially gets ruled out and you just want to throw in cheap-ass Jamison Crowder, who nobody's playing, fair.
First of all, chill. Byron Pringle, okay? Shut up, man.
I would play Crowder.
All right, I'm with it. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe wherever you're at on the podcasting scene. Go ahead and give us a share. Make sure you share it with the rest of your friends to get to the tournament top leaderboard position where all of us here in the DFS Deli will be. Hopefully we meet you there. And if you haven't come over to the YouTube video of the podcast, the video version, come on over to YouTube, hit up DFS Deli. Go ahead and get us a like and subscribe. I mean, why not? It's free. It only takes 1 second to do. So go ahead and do that for the DFS Deli. As we wrap up the show on a nice, crisp Saturday night here in Cleveland, Ohio, I need a bold take. You gave me one on Wednesday. You gave me your fat chick at the bar. But I need one more hot take, one more take that's going to solidify the DFS lineups for this week. So chill. What can the people put in their lineups to get to the top of the leaderboards?
I got it. It's Josh Dobbs, top 3 quarterback on the slate. Load him up. Rocket Dobbs. To the moon. To the moon, baby.
To the moon, yes. Josh Dobbs to the moon. Yes.
Load him up.
I that's bold.
I listen. I can't just keep being a DK Metcalf's ass all week. So
I mean, hey, if you got a conviction, you let the people know. This is what you're doing for the week, okay? And I am right alongside with you. Wednesday, I gave you Will Levis. I think Will Levis double stacks are about to be hot. I think, like I said, the game goes over. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch. But if I'm throwing in one bullet, I'm going to go ahead and have my have my cake and eat it too, because I like your fat chick chill. I mean, I
there
kind
you
of want to
go.
take her home, but
There
I'm
you
feeling a
go.
little freaky tomorrow. I feel a little freaky, and I think I want a menage a trois.
Oh,
I think I'm taking home Gino, Lockett, and Metcalf, all three of them, for the money tomorrow. That's going to be the triple stack that wins tournaments. And that's what I'm sticking with, man. So give me all my Seahawks, and I'll take your fat chicken. I'll raise her cousin that drove her, because she's already drunk off her ass. But I'm gonna go ahead and just escort them both home and have Gino be my Uber driver, because this is about to go down. 4:00 hammer, Seahawks. Let's get it.
nice.
That's what I'm rolling with, baby. That's what I'm rolling with. I think that's going to wrap it up for the night. We obviously wish you all the best of luck in your DFS tournaments tomorrow. And if you take some of our betting advice, put some parlays together, and if you hit a couple, make sure you to come on back to the YouTube video of this See Here podcast and let me know what you won. If you loved our advice, if you hated it, if you thought we're donkeys for loading up Bijan Robinson again, then call us out on that too. I don't mind. But for Baker in Washington, D.C., for Dale, for wherever the hell he's at, and for my boy Chill, who joined me on a Wednesday or a Saturday night, I should say, we will see you all at the top. Peace.